Hello and welcome to the review on the text feature chart that you had as an assignment to complete after watching the text feature structure lesson. We're going to focus today on nonfiction text, but there are also text features present in fiction or literary text. Specifically today we're going to focus on a web-based nonfiction text. You were asked to use the History Channel website to complete this chart, and I'm going to review it with you now. So the first column asks what text feature is present within the text. And so the first example was already given to you. There was the title. An example from the text is Underground Railroad. And then the last question asks, how does the text feature enhance the text, or why does the author include the text feature? So the title identifies the article to the reader. It tells the reader what the article is going to be about. In this case, the web page is going to be about. It concisely tells the reader the main subject of the entire web page is the Underground Railroad. So the author uses it to let the reader know this is what I'm writing about and this is what you're going to read about. If we go back to the web page, we quickly see that under the title is another text feature, which is the table of contents. And so you see here you can click on the table of contents to take you to the different parts of the web page. Now in a book, this would be in the beginning of the book, and it would tell you what page number to flip to. But on a web page, it's hyperlinked. So we can see that the table of contents for this article talks about Quaker abolitionists, what was the Underground Railroad, how the Underground Railroad worked, Fugitive Slave Acts, Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, who ran the Underground Railroad, John Brown, and end of the line. And then it lists the sources it uses to compile this information. So if we go back to our chart, we typed in table of content is a text feature that is present. An example from the text, I just listed the first two bullets of the table of contents. And so how does this feature enhance the text? Well, the table of contents tells the reader the subtopics of information that is provided. It helps the reader find a specific type of information. So if I'm a reader and I only wanted to read about Frederick Douglass, I wouldn't have to read the rest of the article. I would just go down to where the link for Frederick Douglass is, click on it, and read about Frederick Douglass. So the author includes the table of contents to help organize the article and for the convenience of the reader if the reader is not looking for the entire information. So if you weren't familiar with what the table of content does, you also were provided this handout for the lesson, and it has a list of all the text features, and in the middle it kind of tells you what the feature is for, and then it gives you an example over to the right. So let's go back and keep going. So if we go back to our text, our website, the next thing I notice is a subheading, right? So we'll go back to our chart and fill it out. And I will write subheading is the type of text feature. Examples of the subheadings are Quaker abolitionists, what was the Underground Railroad? And we know that a subheading divides and organizes the information of the article, or in this case the web page. And the author uses it to help the text be more accessible to the reader, to help it organize. So it's not just one big block chunk of writing. Because if you pull up a web page and it's just a whole bunch of writing, the likelihood of you reading it all is very small, right? So subheadings help organize and give white space to the page, so it makes it more viewer-friendly, more aesthetically appealing to the reader. All right, let's go back to our web page and see what else we have. If we continue down, next thing I know is there's this video here. So it looks like a picture at first, but then I notice, oh wait, there's this little play button in the corner, and it kind of serves on a web page with multimedia text now. It is both, because if I look at the still image, this is the picture image that's being put forward in the article, but then if I play it, we know it's a full video. So if I go back over here, I put that text feature is a picture/video because we are looking at a web page. And that picture is titled How the Underground Railroad Worked, and the video is titled that. And so why would the author have this here? Well, pictures and videos emphasize key points in the article. And so the picture really stresses something important about that part of how the Underground Railroad worked, right? If we go back and we look at the image, we can try to figure out what message they're trying to convey. If we go back to our chart, we know that the video gives additional information. So why would the author use the video? Well, one way is to break up the reading and convey additional information and clarity. So the video has information that the article doesn't write out in the text. So instead of having this longer article for the reader to read, the author made a decision to include videos that has additional information for the reader to access in a video format. Alright, and if we go back, see what other key features are in this text. I see more videos, more subheadings, more videos, more subheadings, more videos, more subheadings, and then the sources. But I keep noticing we have these bolded, red, hyperlinked pages. So I'm going to come back to this and call that boldface hyperlinked font. And an example of this is George Washington. And so we bold information to show concepts that can get that are really important or that maybe we need additional information on. So on a web page, it's hyperlinked. So if I would click on that hyperlink, it would take me to additional information. So the author maybe uses it as an option for readers to deepen their own conceptual understanding of the topic. So if I don't know much about George Washington and I'm reading this article and I'm like, well, I don't really know enough to kind of understand what the author's saying, I can click on that hyperlink to find out more information. So that is the text features that were present in the example you were given. So as you continue reading fiction and nonfiction text, please pay attention to the different types of text features listed and understand that they are not just there to not be used, right? They are there to serve a purpose and to deepen your understanding of the content.